Welcome to the last week of working with relationships inside the nervous system or through the lens of a nervous system. So what I really want to focus on today is for you to start to notice what you experience when you are in connection, whether it's too much or whether it's not enough, and trying to tweak it and kind of adjust it as you're in it. If it's too much for us, it will generally trigger a threat response. And that's kind of when our early attachment styles come out. So you will either like move away, which is avoidant, or move towards, which is anxious, or combination of the two. And this is an opportunity for you to play around with this. If you can start to play around with this and look at it through a lens of curiosity rather than a shame spiral, which is generally what gets triggered, like I'm too much for this person, or I'm not enough for this person, or whatever your narrative is, that's what the nervous system will get triggered to. So let me be blunt. Let me start off with this. Most men I work with think connection is something you either get right or you don't. Something that's how I would have experienced it in the past. You read a book, learn a script, try to respond better, hold back your anger, say the right thing at the right time, and when it doesn't land, you spiral, withdraw, or lash out. Does that sound familiar? This is not that. You can't get it wrong. This is about attunement. Depending on how you are, depending on your capacity, you will attune or not, or reattune, misattune. That is a healthy part of human development. When a mum connects with her child, she has to adjust the amount of connection, attunement to the baby. Give too much, it will overwhelm the baby and the baby will look away. Not enough, and again, like the baby will respond to that. It will try to kind of make connection with the baby, with the parent. Depending on your experience of that growing up, will be how you are relating today. Let's change that, eh? Let's change that, because that is just tiresome. We spoke before about your expectation of other people. You are setting people up to fail because they don't even know what is going on for you. You're expecting them to behave in a certain way. And when they don't, you then either attack them or withdraw. What sort of mixed up nonsense is that? The person that you say that you love, you are setting them up to fail just through your unmet expectation. Is that an unmet expectation of a parent figure? I don't know the answer to that. But this is about awareness, and then this is about actioning something. So, connection is not a performance, it's a practice. One you will fumble, one that requires repair, and one your nervous system might fight against even when you deeply crave it. So the thing that we crave the most is generally the thing that we struggle with the most to be able to accept. So today we're not chasing perfection. We're looking at what it actually means to stay connected to yourself and others when things feel messy, vulnerable, unfamiliar, a bit clumsy, a bit clunky. We're kind of muddling through this, it's a little bit uncomfortable, and our skin's like kind of crawling a little bit. How do we stay in the moment with that? How do we work through that? So as I said a minute ago, rupture and repair is a huge part of human development. And it might be something that we've not learned, we've not been or had a healthy experience with. That's probably a better way of putting it. So if you've had a parent that has quite an egocentric process, they will take it personally, like they've done something wrong. You will pick up on that. So then what you're doing is you're going around and around and around in circles, trying to people please and appease your parent, because your parent doesn't have the capacity to be able to look after your needs first, because their needs are getting caught up in the middle of it, or their needs are trying to get soothed through you. They're living their life through you, which again is not fair on you. You didn't even have any awareness of that, did you? That was going on, and yet that's what's going on. So we need to kind of pull that apart. We need to kind of look at you first. How do you understand that? Or how do you perceive that? So the thing that we never learned growing up is that the repair is just as important. You're apologizing for how you behave, not who you are. A lot of people don't even know how to apologize. I'm sorry when I did this that you felt like that. Where's your responsibility for your behavior in that? So you're going to mess up, you'll shut down, you'll get defensive, you'll walk away from your partner mid-sentence, you'll roll your eyes at your kid, you'll misread a message and jump into reactivity. That's part of being a human being. The problem isn't the rupture, the problem is when you don't come back and repair it. When I behaved like that, that was unacceptable. So what you're doing is you're taking a radical responsibility, when we talked about that last week, for your part in this. Most of us weren't taught how to return. We were taught how if you get it wrong, you're weak. If you feel shame, bury it. If you want to fix it, solve it fast and move on. But real safety, real trust, that's built when you say things like, I felt overwhelmed back there. I shut down. I'm back now. I want to reconnect. Or I'm feeling a little bit overwhelmed at the moment. If you can do it in the moment, even better. I'm feeling a little bit overwhelmed at the moment. I need to just get myself, pull my shit together or whatever it is. And then I'll be back. Connection isn't built in the doing it right. It's built in the coming back. So therefore, your behavior doesn't trigger your partner's behavior. So there was a time in my past when my partner told me that I wasn't really there in a conversation, even though I was saying all the right things. And she was spot on. I wasn't there. I was in my head, preempting her needs, avoiding conflict, trying to perform as the safe partner, trying to tick the boxes. That's what appeasing is. You are kind of managing a situation. What's she going to say? Yeah, if she says that, I'll say that. Then that's going to, and really trying to not upset the apple cart. It's exhausting, for one. But my body was tense. I would hold my breath a lot. I was trying to manage her, not connect with myself or her in that. So underneath, there was a lot of anxiety. What she wanted wasn't a polished version of me. She just wanted me. Even messy, even unsure, even vulnerable. So I said, you're right, I'm not fully here. I got scared. I'd say the wrong thing and mess this up. Can we start again? Was it smooth? No, it wasn't. But it was real. There was a lot of tears. There was a lot of discomfort. There was a lot of peeling back and just going, I don't even know how to do this. What does that look like? Uncertainty. It didn't come from a textbook. It didn't come from anything that I'd learned. It came from practice, from presence, and from being in body, from being in my body and noticing how uncomfortable it was, but still being okay with it. Still being okay to sit there. So what's going on under the surface? We've already spoken about old patterns and nervous systems reacting to the past. So then how do we rewrite that? Well, it's twofold, isn't it? It's without getting overwhelmed. It's being okay with being uncomfortable. The more uncomfortable you can be, the more capacity you will have for discomfort. And then to challenge the limited beliefs in the moment. This is not then. I'm not reacting to both sets of parents not being emotionally present or emotionally capable of being with my dysregulation. Because that's basically what it is, isn't it? It's both parents, in my situation, both parents not having the capacity to be able to soothe what's going on for me. So therefore then what happens is I learn to manage them. Because what are the consequences of not doing that? Shouted at, shut down, whatever it is. So therefore I have to challenge that now. Okay, so this is not that, is it? Intimacy is dangerous. People close to me hurt me when I was a child. That's the fact. Emotional exposure is weak. Back then, it was hard work. It was not safe. If I'm not needed, I'm nothing. That's quite recent for me to be able to acknowledge that. All of this is subconscious, by the way. You're not sitting there thinking about this outright. It's all ingrained in us, implicit memory. So we're just building a new map. What's the worst thing that's going to happen? Huh? What is it? The map now says I can be uncomfortable. I can stay in the room when I want to run. I can choose connection over control. And that only happens through practice, not theory, not willpower, not reading more books, practice. You have to do it. It's a doing thing. Again, I speak, look at all them books behind me. It's not about reading all of them. You've got to take something. And that's why when I'm working with people, there will be an element of education, but the most of this is a doing thing. You will get homework. I will ask you to go away and just practice regulation to begin with. Notice when you start to get overwhelmed and go and regulate your nervous system. What do you experience when you go for a walk? What do you physiologically, what do you experience? So, what does a regulated practice look like every day? So bring to mind a recent moment of disconnection with someone close. Partner, child, a mate, anyone. Doesn't have to be your partner. Pause, breathe, feel your body. When you recall a specific incident with somebody else, what shows up in your nervous system? Is your jaw tight? Are your shoulders tight? Is your belly clenched? Does your breath, do you hold your breath? Does your breath increase? Is there a tension anywhere? Is there any temperature sensations, tingling? Ask yourself, what was I trying to protect in that moment? What did I really need but didn't say? This is the important thing. What did you need but didn't say? Now, what happens if I soften my shoulders just 10%? Can I be here without fixing it? Don't need to fix it. As long as you feel okay in that moment, even slightly better. I talk a lot about ers. If you can't feel safe, can you feel a little bit safer than when you are than what you did? Can you feel a little bit calmer? And what does that feel like? How do you experience that? This is where connection starts, with you in your body. Not when the words are perfect, but when you're present, calm enough to notice and courageous enough to stay. That's the thing. Can you stay there even though every part of your body is wanting to move away? You don't have to do this on your own. This is better with someone in relationship, because this is generally when it shows up. When you are with somebody else, when you are in relationship. You're not designed to do this on your own. You are actually designed to do it with somebody else to begin with. You're shown how to do it as a child, as an infant, as a baby, through your parents when they co-regulate you, they soothe you. We are wired for co-regulation, for sharing energy and calm with others. That's the bit that we generally find really uncomfortable. We don't want to be around people. We tend to push people away when this happens. I know if I'm feeling uncomfortable, I will want to be on my own. The risk is doing it with somebody else. So most of us have spent years avoiding it because vulnerability felt dangerous, because you learned strong means solo. When you get that fierce independence, you've had to go through it on your own because your parents didn't have the capacity to be able to be with you when you were dysregulated, when you were overwhelmed, when you were angry. That was like, shush, be quiet. That's all that stuff. You can be strong and still need connection. You can be fierce and still need softness. You can lead and still need to be held. So this week, your mission isn't to fix, it's to practice connection. This is where the questions are going to start coming now. This is what I want you to action. One thing. This is not a performance, but it's a rep, like in the gym. It's like a dumbbell curl. The more you do it, the stronger you get. The more resistance you're pushing against, the more capacity and the more resilience you have. So, questions for you. Where do I expect connection to be earned rather than practiced? Where do I expect connection to be earned rather than practiced? What's my relationship with messiness in love or friendship? What do you normally do? Walk away? Avoid it? Chase after it? When did I last repair with someone instead of shutting it down? It's a big thing, repair. What does co-regulation actually feel like in my body? So you're uncomfortable and you ask someone for a hug. What does it feel like? What do you notice in your body? Nervous system to nervous system, what is it like? Write them down and reflect honestly. Write this down. This is for you. This is not, you're not going to show this to anyone. This is for you. So integration task. Choose one person this week, someone who matters. Slow down when you're with them. And notice what is going on for you. If there's been a disconnect, name it. Just literally name that. I noticed we've been a bit disconnected lately. Take ownership without defending about it. So what's going on for you? What stops you going in for connection and then, or you disappear and like me, I will fixate on work or fitness. Be honest about what you feel and what you need. You'll be surprised how quickly things soften. So this is the final week of this series. But it's not the end of the work, because this connection, vulnerability, co-regulation, this is the work. This is a lifetime practice. You will find yourself coming in and out of this, depending how much capacity you've got. We're constantly talking about burnout and capacity inside the group. And it's not about never messing up again, because you will do it. I do it all the time, all the time, literally. It's about practicing a different way of being, one rooted in the nervous system, awareness, radical honesty, and deep presence. Connection is a practice, not a performance. Every rep you do, no matter how small, is shaping the man you are becoming. Keep going, keep coming back. You're not broken, you're not unpracticed. Let's keep practicing this together. Any questions? Drop them in the comments. Anything that you would like. So these series, they go like generally about 4 weeks. What do you want me to do before Christmas? Is there a series that you want me to work on? We've just done the nervous system. We've just done this regulation in relationships. Just let me know. Take care.